Hey, Steve Basic Architect. Yeah, hopefully you watched the last video where we took a walk around the New Age estate. We're gonna take some time. We're gonna jump in. They got all the windows prepped, which is probably one of the details to see inside there. We haven't done any of the interior partitions. We're really concentrating, as you can see, because of the weather, trying to get that building envelope, get the windows in, get the, place blocked in so that we can put some heat in there, and then the guys can spend the days putting in the interior partitions and doing all of that. But anyways, why don't we head on inside and we'll check out some details. So before we head in, one of the details I want to show you, we talked about portal frames, shear loading. These are kind of the structural mechanics of why buildings stand up. A 40-foot wall, three 9-foot doors. That's 27 feet of that 40 foot. That only uses 13 feet at 4 openings, so it's less than 3 feet per, right around 3 feet per opening, but I think the ends are 4 footers. So one of the things that we did here, that we actually had to do per our structural engineer, we have zip R9 on the rest of the house, which is 1.5 inches of polyiso. Here we had to drop down to zip R6 because we had to introduce a 1/2 inch layer of plywood to this whole wall. That helps stiffen up the wall from a shear perspective, which is a lateral load, not a vertical load, lateral, meaning wind, earthquake, this wall wanting to move side to side and these openings wanting to deform. So that's what's stiffening it up. So we drop down, we take a 1/2 inch out of that and put it in there. Now, we put the rigid insulation. Some of you are gonna sit there and say, why are you insulating the garage? Well, it's a couple walls. On the project, it's really a blip on the radar screen in cost. And 2, even though we're not going to heat the garage, this does help take the edge off, right? And the biggest thing is it keeps all of our soffit details and soffit dimensions. If we keep our sheathing the same dimension, we don't have to modify any of our soffits so that they all look the same across the project. So walking in here, you can see, build the green box, add the garage to it. So we maintain that air barrier continuity inside. And then we come in here, we have a bunch of interior partitions, mud room, powder room. There's a small pantry, a dog room over there, and the pantry's on this side here, actually. Yeah, I did design the building. Just so many buildings sometimes forget which goes where. But you can see we are ready. Brian and guys, they have all of this plywood cut here, or OSB cut. These are all part of the window. We have a real special window detail that I've never done before happening out here. So we'll go through that and we'll explain it as we're going there. As you can see, we have our Siga My Vest here. That's part of our air barrier. This is a 1-story structure here, so we have a vented insulated attic there. You can see Brian put in the catwalk, goes from that access door upstairs there. And then we come into here. This is all kitchen. To my right, to my left is dining room there. We have a front entry. There's actually a wall that'll go in under that glue lamb. Nice big windows. We'll take a second and show you what we're doing here. So here's our typical window detail, right? We have our zip stretch tape, goes out over our rip sill, and that connects to the outer face, comes up, and then it goes up. We create a little edge here, and we call that a back dam. So any water that falls down into the system, we want it to be motivated to go in that direction to the outside, because this goes in, falls over that edge. It's going to fall right into our rain screen system and basically drain out the bottom of the wall. If it goes this way, if we give it that opportunity, then it's going to find the backside of the drywall. Now, remember, drywall, paper faced. And what are the three things that we need for mold growth? We need water activity. So if water comes in, we get water activity. We need the right temperature. It's going to be room temperature. And we need a food source. Paper, gypsum board, cellulose, food source. So all three things are right there. Should water get the ability to come in, you can grow mold on the backside of your drywall. So we put that back dam in. You can see it's built on top of the rip sill. The rip sill sits on top of our rough sill. So yes, we have two sills. This one goes to the inside face of our Zip R9 because that's where we get our shear nailing into this one, which attaches our sheathing to the frame. The rip sill is ripped to the rough opening, so it goes out and it gives us something to nail to on the outside there. So we have a slope sill, back dam, and then we take our sill material, which is this PVC plastic lap siding, and we cut some pieces in reverse, and those become our blocks. So the window will sit on top of that. There'll be a little space underneath that that allows that water to be motivated to leave. On the jambs, we basically take the 7/16 zip, rip it to the width of the wall system here, and then we piece that in and basically tape it off. Because remember, on the outside, if we're using that Zip R sheathing, in this case, the actually green face of the R sheathing, as our weather resistive barrier and our air barrier, we need to maintain continuity when we punch a hole through the system. So the way we do that is basically take that system on the outside, fold it to the inside of the wall. Now when I put a window in, I can attach this to my window, because the window is in fact part of my water management system, my air barrier system, my thermal system, and part of my vapor management system, right? All four of those control layers coincide inside that window unit. So we need to connect that to the wall system there. And remember, we're using that Zip R9 sheathing, 2x6 wall, 24 inches on center. We have our floor trusses up above there, 18 inches. Jump over here, and you can see we have our arches all built in here, ready for some beautiful aluminum framed windows. We have another one there. And then here, this is our staircase. This is just some temporary framing here that they will cut out. We have a single window here, which teams up to that window up above. Now, everything inside of this is going to be owner's suite, with the exception of the laundry room to the left, the bedroom, the bathroom, and a weigh room, and a couple walk-in closets. I say a couple because it's really an L-shaped closet there. But coming in here, you can see these guys are meticulous about what they do. They have all of the panels here ready for the windows. So the windows are going to come in, European Architectural Supply. They got delivered to their shop. They get transferred into the shop and into a straight truck. Straight truck's going to come out here, deliver the windows, and they'll distribute all of the windows to the very specific window openings. Now, when I number the windows, they're numbered basically in succession, 1 through, I don't know, in this case here, it's probably like 75 windows in total. So there can't be 2 number 1s or 2 number 1As or 5 A windows and 6 B windows. That number window might be number, I think that's actually 3. I think I started there with 1, 2, 3 and went around the house. So that can only be the number 3 window. It helps with not mixing, window types or whatever. That opening gets a very specific window, and that gets a number to it. You can see we have our My Vest there. That's simply going to flip up to the underside of the truss. We'll complete our air barrier there with Myrex, and then we'll put our interior partition walls in. One of the things to notice here is, notice we have our zip R9 inside of the building. Now, it looks like it's inside the building, and it is in fact inside the roof, but it is outside of our air barrier, right? In this case here, our air barrier is going to be the bottom of the trusses, and that vented attic is considered outside the building, even though it's inside the roof trusses. I'm talking strictly from an air management perspective. So what does that mean? It means this wall here that demises the second floor from that vented attic, we need to treat it just like an exterior wall. Hence, that's why the zip R9 comes all the way down. We'll connect our air barrier. So our air barrier here in effect goes up the wall, across the ceiling to there, and then goes up that wall and across that second floor ceiling upstairs there. The owner's bathroom is here. You can see we have a nice big window that goes in the shower. We have the luxury today of walking through here, but there will be a wall here on the back of the stairs, and there'll be a little bar area here to service the family room there. Yeah, you know, we talked about our pocket headers before. We talked about LVL beams, LVL columns. So anyways, why don't we we'll jump down into the basement, and we'll take a little walk. They've been doing a little bit of work down there, and there's a few things to see down there, so we can go check that out. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you're not, smash that subscribe button. Tell all your friends this is the place to hang out if you want to have a discussion on how to build houses the right way. So it's a blistery morning. I'm Steve Basic Architect. Until next time, you know it. Long live our buildings.